I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Moving on now to page 34, we look at a new scale again. We look at the chromatic scale. And in actual fact, this is really easy, especially if you can just visualise a piano keyboard. Even if you don't play piano, it's really helpful to just have this visual guide because the chromatic scale is literally semitones. Every semitone, next door notes. If you're playing guitar, a chromatic scale would literally just be fret, 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 fret. But it's easy to see which notes are which on the piano keyboard. And so before we get kind of really into this, just to make life easy, and it really doesn't have to be a work of art, but I suggest that you just get used to, on a scrap of paper, just drawing yourself a piano keyboard. Doesn't have to be a work of art. Give yourself a good octave or so you don't fall off the end of it, as it were. Good job. I always say this, nobody's got to play this instrument, isn't it? Wobbly thing. So it's 2 black notes, miss 1. 3 black notes, miss 1. 2 black notes, miss 1. 3 black notes. And then make life easy and give yourself the letter names. So you could even just quickly shade. And so even if you're taking the exam and you've got your scrap paper, you can just, as long as you start with a clean piece of paper and you show that your scrap paper's clean, you can just once the exam starts, you can spend a few minutes just prepping up your scrap paper. And if you just draw this out, it's so helpful as a visual reference. And so we can easily see now that C sharp, D flat is enharmonically the same, but written differently. D sharp, E flat, E sharp, F flat. It's so easy to visualise now, and this is everything that you need for the chromatic scale. And a chromatic scale is just moving with semitones, and we're going to do an octave, and that makes 12 semitones going from C to get the octave or whatever note we're starting on. And there's just a couple of rules to think about. There are many ways that we can write these scales using enharmonic equivalent, but there are a few safe bets, as it were, to make sure we get it absolutely right and don't get in a mess, and a couple of rules to follow. So basically, every line in space, every note on the stave should be allocated at least once, no more than twice, and just be careful that you don't end up writing the same thing in different ways. It's got to always keep moving up in semitone step. For example, be careful you don't write a D sharp and then an E flat, because basically you've written the same note twice. And another good little guideline is that degrees 1, 4 and 5 should be appropriate to the tonic that you start on. So let's say, for example, we're in C, so that's your perfect 4th, your perfect 5th. So let's say we're writing the chromatic scale starting on C. You would need to write note F as note F. Were you to have the option to write it another way, and you can just choose to write it as note F rather than E sharp or G double flat. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the same goes for G. So write it just as basic G rather than F double sharp or A double flat. If you just stick to 1, 4 and 5, that will also keep things clear. So that's just another little tip that you can look at there. And so here, for example, we're going to be asked to spot inconsistencies and write the scales correctly. And let's just think about, why is this not correct? So this is where a piano keyboard is so helpful, because we have C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, E sharp. Really, that would be more helpful to be written as F. And then that would mean we're not going to get so confused, because actually there's no note F, because what they've done, they've written E sharp and then G flat. So there's no note F allocated at all. We can see it's gone from line to line. We've missed the space out. So it should go E, F, G flat, G natural. Of course, you've got to cancel the flat now, otherwise it's G flat written twice. Now here, we've got G sharp again. So we've actually written note G 3 times. And so we can't have that. We'd have to write that as something else. And so you can see how things are sort of getting steadily worse, because we've got the G written 3 times, not twice. And then if we change that, instead of being A flat, so we write A flat now, then we're going to need A natural. But now we've got A 3 times. And you can see how it's all just going to get steadily worse. And so we need A natural, A sharp, then we want B. Now here, although B sharp is correct, we'll have had this 3 times, so we really need A flat, A natural, then we can have B flat, then we can have B natural, and then we don't want B sharp because we began on C, and so we need the tonic to be C, otherwise there's no tonic at the end, is there? So there are many ways in which we can write a chromatic scale, but we do need to adhere to certain rules, and so just watch out that every line and space is at least once, no more than twice. Be careful you don't double up, and if you keep 1, 4 and 5 appropriate to the tonic, that should help keep things right, and it's more true to your starting point note. And it's interesting to note that here, composers often use chromatic scales in little passages just to kind of fill in between the notes of a regular major or minor scale. Gives a little bit of kind of chromatic crunchy colouring to the music, as it were, and these are excellent examples of hearing the chromatic scale in practice, so they are well worth a listen to. I remember my daughter playing that on a flute. It's really fast. However, that's that page completed. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.